Hello?
Girl, you not gonna believe this.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we will be making a boxed lemon bundt cake. Now I do want to issue a disclaimer. The cake that was delivered from Instacart stated that I needed margarine. However, I didn't have margarine, nor did I have butter. So I decided to use oil because everyone knows it's pretty much the same thing if you're cooking a box cake. And my fingers were crossed that it would turn out right, because in my mind I could not remember. I'm like, oh no, is this gonna make the cake taste any different? Is it going to be, too oily? So I was freaking out about that. So after I struggled with this for like the first 45 seconds of my life, I simply began to add my ingredients. So I start off by following the instructions on the box, which is 3 large eggs as well as 1 cup water, and then it asks for a third of margarine. However, I didn't have that, so again I used a half a cup of vegetable oil, just pure vegetable oil. And it makes sure you have not used it, because if you don't, your cake will definitely taste like chicken or fish. Trust me, I've seen people try to get away with it. It's disgusting. So once you've added your ingredients to the bowl, you want to then go ahead and pour in the box cake mix. In this case, I was using the Pillsbury Super Moist Yellow Box Cake Mix because we're using a yellow cake with a lemon frosting. Sometimes that lemon frosting can be too overpowering, and my honey didn't want that. He requested vanilla. So as you see here, I began, once I poured that in, to blend it on up. I'm using my KitchenAid mixer. This is a gift from my mom from years ago, but lately I've been getting into baking more. So here I am, just simply mixing until this is smooth, no lumps, no humps, no bumps. My batter began to look a bit too thick, and I realized I did not add enough water. So I then went and got a little bit more water and measured it up, and then poured that into the KitchenAid mixer. I know it looks weird, and typically you don't do this. I knew it was going to splash, but I went ahead, and that way it made my batter a bit thinner, so I knew my cake would be fluffier, if that makes sense. And because it was a box cake, I figured I could do no wrong, and at the end I was actually right. This turned out really amazing. So once everything was mixed to my perfection and the batter was a bit thinner to where I knew I could, really cook with this, I greased my bundt cake pan. As y'all can see, mama has been through some things, with a bit of vegetable oil, smoothed it all around, and then simply poured my cake mix into the pan. Now I did have some issues pouring. I don't recommend pouring like this because it can come out a bit uneven, but for the most part, at the end it turned out right. And again, my family, they're not picky, but if you are a perfectionist, you do it to your liking, okay? I did it to my family's liking. Once I set the oven at 350, I popped it in the oven for 24 minutes, and then I simply let it cool and flipped it. This is how it turned out. I did go ahead and ice it a bit early while it was still hot, so that icing could melt and saturate into the cake. And then once it chilled for a minute, I then went back and added more icing to it so it could actually stick, because anyone knows that when you add icing to a hot cake, it's going to melt and it's just going to really turn into a glaze. But y'all, when I tell y'all this lemon cake turned out so good, it's already gone, and I made this cake less than 24 hours ago. My family was not playing with me when they said they wanted a specialized birthday cake, and this is what it was. Also, frosting the cake was honestly so therapeutic. Y'all, I love cooking, and anytime I can turn it into a therapy moment or a zen moment, I take it. I kind of wanted to give y'all, a little visualization, as y'all can see how the icing is just melting and gliding down the bundt cake. Letting it saturate and melt into that cake was the best decision ever. It turned out so fluffy, so moist. It was so delicious. Once I let the cake cool, I paired it with some delicious vanilla ice cream. This is the finished product. It was so moist, so lemony, so zesty, very refreshing. This is how the cake looked about 25 minutes after being served. And as of today, there is no more cake. So I'd say this was a hit. My honey truly enjoyed his 37th birthday. I was happy with how my food turned out and that my family was well fed. I also took photos because you know your girl is going to flick it up. And that was pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.